Oh, hi there, everyone. Welcome to another Card Rules Cauldrons here at Geektopia Island. I'm Cardwell.
And I'm Kevin.
Today, of course, we're going through another deck with Legion's Realms at War. With the new set coming up, hopefully pretty soon. We're just doing a lot of brewing. And speaking of brewing, we're going back to the Dwarves. Last deck was just a blast off of like, hey, what we can do. It was kind of like a weird crapshoot in my mind. I tried to make a Blastforge deck, but I was like, nope, we're gonna get drunk today. So, the winter's coming and we're gonna drink as much as possible because of it. So with that, before we get into it, go and remind you that we do have a Patreon. It only takes $1 to support us and we love you very much for it, and the link will be down below. And with that, you'll get all our deck techs early, get our streams early, and also get in the Discord and all the fun stuff there. With that, let's go back to Quartzheart, the Arcane Runemaster. It's a DCM of 70. Special ability is casting the runes, cooldown 4 turns, Bloodborne 2. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, rearrange them in any way you want, and then draw a card. Kind of mediocre compared to everything else, but with magic attack, Arcane Rune Pulse, target one warrior in the field, return target warrior to the owner's hand. Super good controlling. The physical attack, if you need to, is you bonk someone on the head for 4 damage. Simple as that.
The Veil is the Veil of Gelid, which is when it's revealed, you can target up to 2 cards on the field, return those cards to their respective owner's hand, and nobody can do anything about it because you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, you just have to trigger and it goes. We are doing the synergy of Fingar, the Frozen Peak. It's cooldown 6, target up to 2 cards on the field, and return the target cards to their respective owner's hands. Manifest up the 2 wolves. Dwarf warriors with Frostbite, and when the Frostbite is when the battle is another warrior, the opposing warrior loses half the attack power rounded down to your side of the field, which essentially they can trade up to 3 or less.
Yeah, because that happens before damage is even calculated.
Yeah.
So they're just, your dude's a 2, he's a 1.
Yep. And
or
if
he's
it's
a 1, he's a 0.
0, and you just wolves nom them. And because of how Alehouse works, there's not really much synergy with the dwarves part of it. We're gonna rely on these frost wolves because there's a lot of different cards with it for sure.
And our guardian is Raylene, the Gatekeeper of Fingar's Peak. She has AP 50. It started the game after mulligans. Choose one card in their target player chooses a card in their hand and places it on the bottom. And then consume 10. If your dwarf warrior destroys at least 1 warrior by battle, target up to 2 dwarf cards in your discard. Put those cards on the top of your deck in any order.
You choose. It can help. It'll go well. We'll see how the synergy really works with all these random cards that you'll be seeing. But first, of course, is the warrior of Storala, the Blastforge Apprentice. Now, there are some Blastforge dwarves because they're just too powerful. And this one, why? Retrieve. You want to be able to get a unified or fortified card back because that's where all your Alehouse cards are.
Yeah, and retrieve is just a really good mechanic, so
really is.
Make sure you play it. Bronsvick, the mighty Alehouse Brute. He is attack 5. He's a big dude.
And I just want to comment on the art. I don't know if he kept the teeth on the bear he skinned, or he has a bear buddy behind him.
I think he's got a bear friend.
Bear friend, yeah, because it looks really weird, even though he has fur. But anyways, the Daffron, the Alehouse Bard, he is just attack 2 warrior. Simple as that.
Stoga-Frost, the Blastforge Flamekeeper. It is attack 1, Wisdom. When this warrior enters the field, controlling player looks at the top 2 of their deck, put 1 in their hand and 1 on the bottom. And then perish, search your deck for disc and/or discard for Kindle-haust, the Blastforge Fire Sparker, conscript and/or revive the search warrior to your side of the field. So we're gonna play this dude almost always when we're playing Dwarfs because that dude's really, really good.
It's just too good. And speaking of Kindle-haust, he has attack 1, Shockwave, which kills any warrior with attack 2 or less, original attack 2 or less, and then Gust at the same time, you bounce another warrior. And then when he perishes, you do both. And with her, you just get to keep playing this dude no matter what. It's just too good.
And Gust is always really good because remember, you can bounce your own stuff if you need to.
Yep.
Not that you have to, but you can. Next, we have Vindenhime, the Alehouse Drunkard. He is attack 3. Pretty good.
That's it. Now, we'll get into the fun stuff here. Is the mining for minerals, a unified. Target 1 dwarf in your discard pile. Shuffle the target warrior back into your deck. Then search up to 1 of your deck fortified cards, add it to your hand. You can only play once per turn. It seemed very crappy a long time ago, but here I think it's going to work out pretty well.
Next, we have the Alehouse Fortunes and Future. It is a unified consume 5. You can only play this card if you control at least 1 face-up Grand Alehouse. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Target any of the revealed cards that are Alehouse cards. Add the targeted cards to your hand. Then place 1 Ale counter on face-up Alehouse. for each Alehouse card added to your hand this way. All the cards revealed are sent to the discard. So this does multiple things for you. It helps you get cards in your graveyard that you can get back. It helps you get cards in your hand because you're playing a whole lot of Alehouse
Shenanigans.
dudes and cards, so it just helps you get free value.
Yep. And then the Scaling Fingar's Peak is unified. You can only activate this when you have 3 or more Dwarf Warriors are conscripted to your side of the field. Target up to 2 cards on the field, shuffle the targeted cards respective owner's deck. So immediately gets rid of 2 cards. But then, if your synergy is Mount Fingar, reduce the cooldown of the synergy by 1 and manifest up to 2 Frost Dwarf Warrior tokens in the field. So you can use a lot of the synergies all together with this.
Yeah, and you're getting more Frostbite dudes.
Yeah.
Just to be like, hey, cool, let's do things. Blastforge Melt-Cannon is Unified Arm. This card can only be equipped to a Blastforge Dwarf, so you gotta make sure you get that right. Bestow attack 6 to the equipped warrior at the end of turn. This card is equipped. Destroy the equipped warrior. This card is your discard pile. You can target 1 card on the field and eradicate this card. Destroy the targeted card.
Yep.
That's mostly probably what you're gonna do with this otherwise, because it's just like, hey, cool, make my 1 Blastforge dude big, and then
Swing,
kill it,
and
then kill something else.
Yeah, you really want it in the discard pile most of all, just to get rid of anything that you need to get rid of. Now the next one is Strategy Room below the Alehouse. Choose one of the following effects. If you control 1 face-up Grand Alehouse, choose both. Target up to 5 Alehouse cards in your discard pile, shuffle them in the back of the deck, or look at the top 5 of your deck, rearrange them in any order you choose, and return them to the top of your deck. Simple as that. Hopefully you just get yourself straight.
I like it. The Grand Alehouse is the main card, the Unified Act. Once per turn, you can place 1 Ale counter on this card. Once per turn, you can remove 2 Ale counters from this card and target 1 warrior on the field. Place the warrior on top of the owner's deck. If this face-up card is destroyed by a card effect, search your deck for 1 Alehouse card for every 2 Ale counters on it when it is destroyed. So literally, just once per turn, you get to be like, hey, cool, let's remove 2, put a dude away, get a dude out of my life.
Yep.
Or you can put a dude back on your top so you can get more value out of it, and then once it dies, you get more free cards.
The best thing is it puts it on the top of their deck, which slows them down. Especially if you're just like, this warrior goes on top. You can only play that warrior once per turn. I'm going to try to keep doing it every turn. Then your opponent's not doing anything.
Best part is also you can have more than one of these in play.
Yep.
So you can do it twice.
Just constantly. They Came from the Cold, Unified. Consume 15. You can only play this card of Dwarf Warrior Mount Fingar, which it is. Manifest up to 3 Frost Dwarf Warrior tokens. Done. That's all you need. Just more wolf tokens for free.
Yeah, we're playing Frostbite. That's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Late night Tavern Gambling. We've already talked about this card being one of our favorite cards because it's insanely strong.
And what else are you going to do in Alehouse?
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Draw 1 card for each Bloodborne cost all opposing players pay until the end of turn, and then deal 1 damage to target player's Warlord for each card in your hand at the end of turn. You can only activate 1 Late Night Tavern Gambling per turn. So it's really strong just to be like, hey, cool, you're playing Bloodborne, I'm going to draw free cards, and then you take free damage.
Yep.
Literally free damage.
It's just completely free damage. The next one is Boragas Dreamscape. It's a Fortified Act. When this card is first activated, discard 2 cards from your hand. Once per turn. If 1 or more cards are returned to the field to the owner's hand this turn, you can draw a card for each of those returned. Pretty good.
Neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You're bouncing things anyway as dwarves. You might as well draw cards for it.
Rodoka's Prayer Gauntlet. It is Bloodborne 2 Fortified. Activate this card only if your Dwarf Warrior is being attacked directly. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal any number of Dwarf Warriors from among them, conscript the Dwarf Warriors to your side of the field, then add the rest to your hand. So it literally gives you a free out if you're getting attacked. You're like, cool, put these dudes in play. Now you have to choose those instead, and I get free card value.
Yep. Shattered of the Frozen Anvil Fortified card. This is probably what you're going to get mostly with the whole gem scattered thing to go search for a Fortified. But Bloodborne 10. As an additional cost to play this card, send the top 2 of your deck in the discard pile. Target a player, return all warriors on the side of the field of their hand. Draw 1 card for each warrior that was returned by this effect.
Don't play this card.
So good. Play it all the time. Should be a rare.
This card is really, really strong.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, if you're playing Dwarfs, you definitely should be playing this card, regardless of which way you're playing Dwarfs.
Yeah.
A free get-out-of-jail card is pretty much what this is. It's just like, oh, yeah, put your dudes away.
And you draw for those cards that they put away. It's insane.
It's so good. Trap in the Black Powder Room. It is a Fortified Act. Once per turn, you can pay Bloodborne 4 and target 1 warrior on the field that is attempting to activate a keyword ability. Negate the activation and target of the target keyword's ability and return the warrior to its owner's hand. You can only control one face-up trap in the black powder.
That's all you need.
So just be like, hey, cool, get rid of that keyword, dude, because I don't want it to happen. Thanks.
Yep. Next, Fortified. Alehouse Secret Supply Entrance. It is an act. As long as this card remains face up, and all face up, the Grand Alehouse cards you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Once per turn, you can place 2 Alehouse counters on this card. Once per turn, you can remove up to 4 counters and target up to 2 Alehouse cards in your discard pile. Return the targeted cards back to the top of your deck. It's to help just keep turning all the fun stuff.
Yeah. Celebration at the Alehouse. It is a fortified Bloodborne 9. You can only activate this card at the end of your opponent's turn, and only if you control at least one face-up Grand Alehouse with 3 or more ale counters on it.
It's a little rough.
Remove 3 counters from face-up Grand Alehouse, draw 3, then discard 3. You can then target 3 cards in the field, shuffle the target cards back into their owner's deck. It has a lot of stipulations, but you do get a lot of value for it. So it is kind of worth it, but good lord. You have to have certain amounts, certain things, but you get to put 3 threats away and draw 3 cards.
Yeah,
and fill up your graveyard.
And there's not many Alehouse cards out there, so you might as well put whatever you can, right? But of course, we have the Twilight Gardens. It needs to be in every deck ever now. Fortified. It is a 5-star though, so when a warrior be conscripted or a unified card is activated, negate the conscription or activation, and if you do destroy that card, then all opponents must eradicate all copies of the destroyed card from their hand, deck, and discard pile. Deal 3 damage to each opponent's Warlord for each card eradicated by this effect. So good.
This card is insane. We didn't realize how good this card was.
Yep. And that is the deck. It's not good, but when I tried to make a straight Blastforge deck, I was like, my brain is like, no, don't do it. Everyone's done it. You gotta brew something up, and here we go. We're trying to get drunk, and it's not gonna go well.
We're going to the Alehouse.
Yeah.
It's gonna go well. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, it's a bunch of control and wolves gnawing at your feet, and that should be it. That's all that needs to happen. But with that, if you want to check out this deck in action, go ahead and check us out on Tuesday nights around 7, 8 Central. We're trying to get a stable time here. But you go ahead and see that play and see how it goes and how sad we are. But with that, hopefully you enjoyed your stay at Geektopia Island, and you have a good day. Goodbye.
Later. Make sure you hit that like button, guys, and subscribe to our channel. It would greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure you hit that bell to stay up to date on any of the notifications for our channel. And lastly, make sure you give us all the comments down below, and we'll make sure we get them.
And just to remind you that we do have a Patreon. It only takes $1 to subscribe. But for those Mythic and above Patrons, we like to give you a super thanks. And that would be Ryan. And we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We love you.